information about the
Okay, I
field.
just want to record this.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then, so my goal is now I've got, which team's on offense, what's the current down, and what I'll do is I'm going to grab, like, all the players and their starting positions, and I'll keep it relative to the line of scrimmage. So
Okay.
once we have plays, you can hook the play system in there to set all those positions.
Okay.
But for now, I'm just going to basically just copy where they're at when the game first runs, so they'll be running the same play all the time for now.
Yeah.
But between plays, it'll set the position in the line of scrimmage and the rotation so that all those positions will go with it. And
Okay.
then it'll set all the players where they need to be and then start the next play, updating the current down stuff. And like at the end of a play, I'll check the football's position and do whatever adjustments I need to do there.
Okay.
So hopefully once I'm done fleshing out these blueprints, like here's my blueprint for doing all those initial field calculations.
Okay.
It runs through and.
So Zach has the AI. He's working on that, and you're gonna actually blend that with what you're doing here once he's done.
Yeah.
or-
Hopefully what it'll be is, my scripts will determine where everybody starts, and then his AI will determine what they do when the play starts.
Okay.
So, that's sort of our areas of concern at the moment.
Okay.
I do the between play stuff, and he's working on the during play stuff. And
Okay.
it should be pretty easy to blend it together. Like I said, this system, you should be able to drop it on any field. And I might add another one for, like, how many yards is it? That way the Canadian fields can get handled properly. Right
Okay.
now it just assumes that it's 100 yards. It works pretty well. Like when I hit play, it's able to tell that I put the yard of scrimmage or the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line there.
Okay.
And
So the ball will spawn to that line of scrimmage. Like if you
Yeah.
want to set it there, you can start the play there.
yeah, like if I save this line of scrimmage position and this person relative to that, then every time I start the play, they'll be standing right there with the ball on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
And hopefully, if I may have to do some stuff about setting the state of the player
Okay.
as well. And because Zach is still working on some of the AI stuff, I may not know every single piece of information that needs to get set. But when I do, then that'll also it'll say at the beginning of the play, not only set their position, but also make sure they're crouched, make sure they're ready to go with all their pregame state set.
So the players we're gonna have a pregame where they're in a huddle and then they walk to the line and everything. Do we have the animations that we need for that? I know we might need some more fill-in animations
Yeah.
in there.
So first thing I'm worrying about is just getting them to those positions. Then we can actually work out the transitional states with the huddling. But for now, it's actually just going to snap them. And I
Snap
might
'em
hide
there.
it with a little load screen.
Okay.
But once that's working, because that's the important part. Once the important part is working, we can then have a state that's in between the plays where they can get their huddle positions and they'll walk to those positions.
Okay.
Huddle, and they'll walk. And then once we know where they're supposed to go, they can walk there, and you can see that happening. Hopefully, we'll have some coach UI that you're messing with while all this is happening. That way we're not wasting your time watching them huddle, and we don't have to.
Yeah, like you're calling a play or something like
Right,
that, or an
right.
audible or something. Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
And we'll also need to worry about, if you're going through these menus really fast, you may want to skip the animation, and if we want to let you skip the walking stuff, then we can reuse the instant snapping, because then it's like I don't want to watch them walk from their huddle, bam, and then they'll just go.
Okay.
They'll do what they're gonna do now, which is just teleport there.
And that'll give the player the option to do that or
to
not.
skip this. Skip what they don't want to see and
Okay.
get right to the action.
Well, that
So-
sounds good, Tom. So I think coming up on Tuesday we have a meeting there, and
Yeah.
you're gonna. I guess we'll see where we are from there,
Yeah.
and we'll just keep plugging along. And if you guys need extra animations in between, like when they get ready to block, so they don't stand up like robots or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
we're working on that. And if you need those animations, just let me know, and we
Sure.
can add
Yeah.
those in there. I'll have somebody here probably fix what we have, and
Cool.
make sure that they look fluid.
Yeah, for now, I'm gonna tell him myself, but don't worry too much about, Zach shouldn't worry too much about handling what happens after the play ends. If he can get everything between play start and play end, then I can make the system get you to the next play start.
Okay.
Because like I said, right now all we have is like when a play ends and you hit enter, it actually just reloads the whole scene, so
Again,
everything starts over. So it's actually it's literally the same play. What I'm hoping to get it is so it doesn't restart. It's the same scene. Everybody advances. The data advances.
Yeah, like if there's a 10-yard gain, then
Yeah.
advances 10 yards or 5 yards and whatnot.
And I'm hoping that because what I heard about the play system is pretty good. From what I understand, it's a bunch of positions with direction, like waypoints.
Yes,
like
yes, he
pads.
does have that.
And all of that is, I think he said it was like relative to the position of the football, but I'm hoping we can say it's relative to the position of the line of scrimmage, because those are really, you can see they're the same thing.
Yeah, and you can actually make it relative to the position of the line of scrimmage, because that's the thing that's going to move.
Yeah, so
The players will move to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that'll be the main merging kind of logic we'll need to do. Is if it's based on the football, we'll just get it based on the line of scrimmage instead, and then hopefully instead of just, because I'm gonna have this. You'll give it each of the player positions, and if you don't give it starting positions, it'll just use this, because
Right.
it doesn't have anything else to use.
Right.
But if we have a play system running, when you select one, it can use that instead of using this, and then that'll get you your places, and hopefully the AI knows how to work with the play. But that could be a system that runs parallel to this one. So I think it's a good direction, because it means we can kind of both work, get some really efficient stuff done. Zachary can get the players behaving properly while they're in motion, and I can get it so that they know where to start and what's going on the outside.
Yeah.
If we can just get it in just one scene, and I copied this scene. This is my copy of this scene, but
Uh-huh.
all this stuff is reusable. You can just drop this manager in, and then fill out if you fill this stuff out based on the field that you're on, it should work fine.
So you can put that on any field, basically. Okay.
Yeah, and we may want to wrap it in so that if you drop the field in, it's already got all this stuff on it. But I think for now it's if I wanted to set up a field on nothing, I could. If it's just like an empty patch of grass, I could set up a little field, say how many yards it's supposed to be, and it may not. It's not actually going to be looking at we'll want to make sure all the fields are appropriately scaled, because this system doesn't really care about that. It's basically the yard lines are 0 to 100, so however big it is, it can figure out the yard line based on.
And the fields, they're not going to change. If it's an American game, it's going to be that. If
Yeah.
it's a Canadian game, it'll be whatever the Canadian field, indoor, whatever that is. So there's 3 fields. So
as long as the art is to scale and
yeah,
everything's
we're going to
correct,
keep everything scaled to that.
then I'll just have an extra line so you can say how many yards it is in case it's a Canadian field, and that may just be literally say, is it a Canadian field, and then it knows how many.
Yeah, I would probably just go, is it a Canadian field, is it an
Yeah.
indoor field, or is it an American field? Because
Yeah.
those are the only 3 parameters you're going to be dealing with.
I put this field. I got the field. The field for the field.
Yep.
I put the field for the field in, but I realized I don't actually need it, so I need to just replace that with is American or is Canadian.
Okay.
Because I thought I was going to I tried to get the bounds. The reason I'm using these vectors is because I tried to get it from the bounds, but that's not consistent. It's not always going to be. It's based on stuff that I don't have any control over, so I thought it would be better to just have actual points that you set yourself to say this is where it is. That way it doesn't have to care.
And it
So-
seems like you guys have waypoints in here where the guy doesn't run directly straight to the end zone. He could take any one of those lines
Yeah.
into the end zone or wherever he's running to. It's not
Yeah.
like he's going to run in a straight line somewhere. And
Right.
that's good too. And that's what we want. We want it to be where they're just not like robots running straight to something. They're
Yeah.
running to wherever their momentum takes them. So
For
that's
sure,
good.
for sure. So
Yeah.
so I think we should have some cool stuff to talk about tomorrow. I've just, like I said, I've just been filling out these blueprints, making the system understand this line of scrimmage is a yard line 20. This is computed based on where these points are set. That's not something you feed it. If I move this, just for example, if I moved it here, it's actually gonna, when you hit play, it's gonna, you can't really see it, but because it's behind, I moved it behind the team.
Right.
But there, it's at yard line 12, and I think, it snaps, so it won't let it be in this sort of it'll snap it to the nearest yard.
Yard.
line.
Okay.
We may want, I don't know. I know when it gets really close to the goal, sometimes they get particular about exactly where it is.
Yeah, and even on a regular play, you can have 4th and inches
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
but-
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, so it you don't see that happening either, but it's like, okay, I'm closer to 12, it snaps to 12. Like,
Yeah.
So, and it should always be on a yard line, but if you because I just threw this thing on the field, so it had to like snap it and fix it up. So, yeah.
Okay, that looks good. That looks good. I mean, we're
I just threw a basic shader on it, like it's just a yellow line.
and, you know, that's how it actually looks on TV too. You know,
Yeah.
you have the yard line. We might want to just keep that so for broadcast purposes, so people will know here's where the down marker is. It doesn't have to be. It can start there,
Yeah.
and then as the play goes, it can disappear. But people will know where the first down is, just
Yeah.
like it does on TV.
That's the other nice thing about, because I can definitely say, like, as part of some event, like maybe when the play starts, fade out after 5 seconds.
Yeah,
you know,
and
stuff like that.
that's exactly, because that's how it looks on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, they fade it out, and
Yeah.
and then they'll also have like a little graphic like down in there somewhere that has an arrow saying it's 4th and 3 or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna add those kind of things in there as well. But yeah, I think this is really coming along really
Yeah.
good.
I'm
And
hoping it'll give you all a good framework to work off of, because like this isn't taking into account some of the more subtle things, like, you know, at the what is it, at the halftime point, you actually switch what
And-
side of the field you're coming from.
Right.
So right now this wouldn't handle that, but if you just want to demo, like drive down the field, you know, defense on the way back, like it'll be able to handle that. I'm gonna, you know, keep track of the score too and try to do something with that. But yeah, on a really basic level, this should give your AI actors a framework to operate on.
yeah, and then we can the switching of the field. We can do that. You know, a little bit after we
Yeah.
get
It
some
would
of the
just-
other things
It would just be an
worked out.
extra layer on this, and you know, I don't know, like once I'm sort of out of this project and you're working more with what you have now, I don't know if you want to like take all this stuff that I've done and maybe if you want to change up, like we give it a more robust kind of framework, then hopefully the logic here should all be clear. Like I'm keeping my stuff commented pretty well, and I'm trying to break it apart into functions.
So the code is clean.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Okay.
I would say so. I mean, it's clean to me. Most of what you already have is pretty clean, so I've just been trying to stick to the same kind of principles that I've seen. So
That works for me. Well, Tom, thanks a bunch,
Yeah,
and
no
you know,
problem.
we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
See where we are, and you know, approaching GDEX. You know, hopefully we'll have you know, something really playable for these
Yeah,
guys.
sounds good to me.
All right, thanks, man.
See you, Cal.
You bet.